Yeah, fire, flames and shit.
Fuck yeah!
Jae Darké.
We're
Yes,
live.
Underhaven. Live on the YouTubes with Jae Darké once more.
Yo, what it do? Oh wait, I can't say
What do you
what it
mean?
do. People are gonna say I'm Paul.
Yeah, people have already been saying that. Like, multiple people said that to me when I was on the Morning Wood. People have been saying that in the fucking chat room. It's pretty interesting. I find that pretty funny. But yeah, he has been on here a lot.
It's almost like it's almost like a lot of people tend to emulate the ones that they watch in entertainment. Like, you know, you follow Paul a lot, and so his the Paulisms he displays, they'll rub off on you. It's almost like that's the case.
I
don't know.
probably do emulate Paul a little bit, but I don't do it intentionally. I mean, I do kind of want to like have my own sort of personality and shit. But I can see the similarities that people point out.
The way I look at it is I've just, I take inspiration from all different types of places. I just try and combine it all together and make something that's my own. You know?
I do get pretty salty if that last pre-show was anything.
Oh, yeah. A wee bit. That was still an entertaining one. I edited that one together. That's going to be going up on the channel soon. I'm trying to upload content on this channel almost every single day.
Expect more, audience. Expect more.
Expect more.
So we have an array of dumb shit to cover. So I'm thinking we might want to kick it off with some videos, just kind of get in the mood, and then we'll do some articles as per usual. By the way, we have Honest Red in the chat. Hello, Red. How you doing? I like Red. I do.
My favorite person ever.
Oops. My finger slipped.
Damn, you got the whole squad laughing, Swag. All right. Let's play some content.
Okay. The fuck is this?
Alright, I gotta explain. You can't just jump right into this one. Pause this.
Okay, go ahead.
Alright, so this is a music video that some of you guys might be familiar with. It was quite prolific on the internet back in the day. We try to cover, internet culture things here on this channel every once in a while. And basically some rich kid commissioned a music video and he has no ability to sing, but he was given this anyway. So.
Oh no.
Yep,
oh, so this is like some out-of-touch fucking rich kid from like the 90s.
Remember Rebecca Black?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
God.
This is early 2000s though. But it just looks like the 90s.
Oh, wow. You know, he's rich, so I don't feel too bad for him, but he's a kid, so it's like, Jesus. He just wants to fit in. What the fuck is that sound? Is that a guitar?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, I think this is the first time I've ever gonna say it. I think I would rather listen to Rebecca Black.
Dude, this is just like Rebecca Black of its time, dude.
Yeah, it kind of is.
This song was part of my childhood, man.
Wow. That's depressing.
Yeah, I know, right?
It is depressing. Yeah,
alright.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
Yeah, for me, it was like Circles by Soul Coffee.
Well, you guys
I
aren't
used to play that,
Americans.
too.
You guys aren't American. Well, I had good music in my childhood too, but this is something that I remember like people used to laugh at because of how bad it was back when I was like in middle school or whatever, because it was just so fucking terrible.
Well, I can't imagine why.
Just wanna be a fool. Just wanna play video games.
Wait, so this is like Xbox 360 era.
This is like PS2, GameCube. He elaborates. Yeah, it's around that era, mid 2000s.
Those are Xbox 360 controllers.
Oh, shit.
That's
Yeah.
360 shit.
360s.
Just wanna play video games. Everything else is really lame.
Oh my god. No. Then go play video games. Why are you doing this?
Parents say it's frying my brain. Just because I can't remember my name.
This kid's brain is clearly fried, dude. He's been smoking too much of that ganja. You know that?
If you're gonna make music, at least learn to sing or rap or something, or learn to learn what a goddamn melody is. I mean, god fucking damn.
Or how about this? Like, hire someone who can modify the vocals to make them sound good, because people make a living doing that.
Nah, dude, fuck this kid. Fuck this kid. This kid is a piece of shit, yo.
Dude, how many
He's
people in
in that
chat?
car?
Oh my god. That's...
Dude, they can play Xbox in that car. Fuck this kid. This little fucking rat, yo.
Aren't you guys glad I
Yeah.
showed you this?
No, I'm not. Look, dude, look at this frame right here, and just like
I
listen
know.
to this. There you go.
Very fitting,
It's
very
better.
fitting.
Yeah.
It actually is better, yeah.
GameCube, Xbox, PlayStation 2. Know about them as soon as they're new. I just wanna play video games.
Oh god.
No. And go play video games.
This kid's rich. This kid's clearly rich. He has a fucking diverse fucking, Disney sitcom fucking style of friends. He has a fucking mansion. He has it all. Like, this kid has everything.
He's got a
and
limo,
he's just like,
or like his parents do.
yeah, he probably
Yeah.
has every fucking console, but he's making this song like, yeah, I just want to play video games. Oh yeah, it's so hard. You have to go to middle school, kid. God damn it. When I was this fucking kid's age, I was this fucking kid's age, and I would have killed to have all the fucking shit.
Xbox, dude. I didn't even have an Xbox. God. Yeah, your life is so hard, kid.
Oh man, you gotta brush your teeth, you fucking rebel.
Oh man.
Is he an adult now? Yeah, probably. And he's probably like,
Oh, we should fucking get him on the show.
Yeah,
I
dude,
think
he
we
should
could.
come on. Dude, I was thinking that earlier.
There's no fucking way this kid made it too big to
Dude,
be on Underhaven.
Dude, yeah, dude, I
like,
was thinking that earlier
yeah.
too. Like, this kid should come on Underhaven.
We'll do that.
I'd meet
We'll have him
raging
come
on it.
on the show live.
He's probably a
on
bit
camera.
older
It'll
than
happen.
me, a tiny bit older than me. So yeah, it wouldn't be weird for us to ask him on. So let's ask this kid on the show. Yeah.
I'm gonna look into it. If he's got a Twitter, I'll fucking propose that.
Me too, man.
As long as he doesn't get offended by our commentary.
He won't be offended. This kid's got confidence.
He does. He has fun. He's probably too rich to bother with this shit, though.
Is this like 75% of the song, just the chorus?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
No verses, dude.
Hey, you see
Yeah,
that
he's
drummer,
aggressive.
SWEGTA? SWEGTA, you see that
Is
drummer?
that you? Is that you? It's kind of hard to tell.
Dude, if this came out today, then a news media organization would confuse that for Andrew Yang.
Oh no. They probably would.
Yeah, I'm just being honest. You know?
Hey guys, did you know Andrew Yang was in this music video before he
Yeah.
got into politics?
Holy shit, man.
Yeah, we should tell MSNBC. Maybe they'll report it, dude.
No, I'm not gonna let him know.
I'm not gonna let him know, but I'm gonna play it on the show and tell people about it. Well, don't. You don't need to. You've got the. You could just live off your parents' fucking welfare. Or sorry,
Okay.
trust fund.
Yeah, man, don't get confused.
Yeah, I don't think this kid even knows what welfare is, even at this age.
Welfare is like what the
Cringe.
poor people get when they can't
Cringe.
afford
Blah.
bread.
Chapman Records. What the what?
Maybe it's the record label his daddy owns.
Probably. It's probably like some vanity bullshit. Ugh.
Ugh.
Indeed.
Do we have anything
Appropriate
less
responses.
cringy?
That was one way to fucking start things off, Swag. I think I gave you some less cringy stuff than that. I hope.
No, we're gonna ramp up the cringe. It's kind of like pulling off a band-aid, you know? When it starts hurting, you just rip it off as fast as possible. That's gonna hurt a lot, but you'll get through it way faster.
Video games cause autism confirmed.
Oh, this is his promo.
Exhibit A.
God.
So this is Warcorpse's channel promo. So we're gonna have a look at that, and if it's bad enough, we'll pull another WC video.
All right.
Do you like to see angry neckbeards comment on news stories? Of course you do. Do you like to see the same angry neckbeard smoke cigars and give rants about this topic or that?
I don't know about that part.
You do.
That's why but that's why I'm subscribed to the Amazing Atheist. Why would I subscribe to this dude?
Yeah, I don't care about the cigar smoking part.
No, he's got that market on lockdown. I don't think there's room for you.
Would you also like to see some video commentaries from time to time? Of course you would. And also,
that's pretty arrogant for you to assume.
What about threatening people who beat you in debates multiple times?
The cherry on the sundae, games and beer, a show where I play a game for a set amount of time and then do some video commentary for the rest of it, all while answering any and all.
Let's be honest, like, imbibing substances and playing video games, like, what kind of pathetic losers would fucking engage in that? Also, you guys can check out Stoned Rejects every Wednesday night around 10:30 p.m. or so, where me and Jay do just that, except with weed instead of alcohol, so it's entertaining instead of obnoxious, unlike Warcorpse.
Questions you may have. If this sounds appealing, there is a subscribe button right there. There's
also one on TJ's channel.
What is this tone of voice? It sounds like my mom telling me to take out the trash. It's like, if it sounds appealing, there's a... No, it doesn't. You're not selling me.
That's
you
true.
Suck.
His tone is actually really off-putting. Like, at least TJ, like, when he fucking comes on and rants or, like, says shit like this, he has, like, a compelling fucking tone that makes you want to listen to him.
Yep. His tone is off-putting. His appearance is off-putting. Everything about this is off-putting. The editing is off-putting.
This screenshot in particular, dude. He looks like a middle-aged fucking
middle-aged man.
It looks like he's like reading the menu at a drive-thru or something like that.
Yeah.
He looks like the kind of guy you tell your kids to stay away from at the mall.
Worst episode ever.
So this is from Project Veritas, to be completely down the middle fair. 2 more Bernie 2020 field organizers in South Carolina attracts truly radical people, have plans for extreme
this is gonna piss
action.
You off, Jay.
They're not going to do it. Trust me. Antifa, Yellow Vest, keeping that on the back burner. Well, of course Antifa's backing Bernie. Generally socialist, like violent mobs.
So he's trying to blame Bernie for all the Antifa bullshit and say that this is exactly what Bernie supporters want, is basically violence towards property. He's trying to pin all the shit that Antifa does on everybody who's left-wing and supports Bernie, basically.
Dude, that is such a straw man. Like, that is like blaming the entire right on the fucking KKK. Or blaming the KKK on the entire right and being like, yup, everyone who's right-wing is a fucking white supremacist. Everyone who's left-wing is fucking Antifa. Okay, mate, that makes perfect fucking sense. What fucking world are you living in, dude? And by the way, just because someone supports Bernie, a lot of people support a lot of people, okay? Like, a lot of KKK members support Trump. That doesn't make him a white supremacist.
Yep, I agree with that sentiment too. And that's the thing too. Like, there's a lot of people who try and like pin that on Trump because he has fucking supporters who are racist. He's a racist because he has supporters who are racist. No, like, no, that's completely fucking bullshit. Yeah, I know. I mean, I do agree with that one point. But like, yeah, I mean, people trying to call him a racist. It's just that when you go that far, I feel like you exaggerate the issue so much that people are not willing to listen. If that makes any sense, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen people make arguments for it, but I just don't find any of them compelling enough.
Look at that boomer font size, yo. Look how big that is. Someone in the chat pointed that out.
Yeah,
you gotta scroll to read one paragraph, dude. Like, what are you doing?
Jesus
Make
Christ.
it smaller.
That's
also,
supposed to be the title too.
Yeah. Also, why can we see your toolbars and your fucking like taskbar at the bottom and shit? Like, why don't you have a proper like layout that just shows what needs to be shown? Why can we see all your bookmarks?
Fuck you,
I
Warcorp.
don't know. That's a good question. Actually, it's because he's bad at technology. Like, he doesn't really grasp how to operate a computer without running into shit like this.
Yeah, he can barely
so he is a
operate
boomer.
Discord. Like, we were supposed to debate with each other, and I told him to talk to me on Discord, like, message me on Discord. I mean, I told him to message me on Twitter, but I added him on Discord to our group, and I tried to message him on Twitter. I tweeted at him. I wasn't able to DM him because he only lets people follow, like, DM him who follow him. But
Then he went live on his channel, and he's like, I don't know when this debate thing is happening. It's like, how about you check your fucking messages?
I gave him well advanced about how things were going to go down, too. I told him it was going to be on the Underhaven channel at a specific time. He wrote it on his stupid fucking whiteboard. How the fuck did he not remember? But we're going to be redoing that at some point. I mean,
Power away from capitalists, directing the violence towards
We will.
property, blah, 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 blah. Mason Braid, South Carolina field organizers. I've canvassed with someone who's an anarchist, with someone who's a Marxist-Leninist, radical, truly radical people in the campaign. Obviously, it's not outward-facing. Mason Braid, or whatever the hell his name is. A lot of people do this kind of work are outside.
Is he gonna read the
American
whole
norm.
fucking
They're
thing? Please tell me he's not
Marxist,
gonna do that.
anarchists.
yeah, see, when
Okay,
we
you can't
cover
really get-
articles on this show, this is another thing I want to bring up, because, yeah, he literally is just going to bring up this whole thing verbatim, because we're going to cover some later, but when we cover articles on this show, I try to, like, only pick out the parts, like, I actually read them over first. I don't think Warcorp has actually looked at this. I think he just looked at the fucking headline, he pulled it up, this would make a good thing for a fucking live stream, and then he fucking read it completely fucking verbatim. I can't stand, like, one thing I really can't stand on YouTube are people who just read fucking articles completely fucking verbatim. It's like, yeah, the article should be there as a point of reference for you to bring up a few fucking points from, you know,
For instance, the Sun said this.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then, you know, you provide a quote.
exactly, like a semi-reputable source to be like, okay, well, you know, you know, we can talk about this, we can give this a fucking opinion on, you know, this fact that has been stated in this article, and that's really what I'm going to be doing later. It's like, no, your entire content should not just be going over the fucking article completely one by one and giving your weak commentary on each fucking sentence. You should use it as a tool to give your take on the fucking topic. And that's why this fucking video is like, what, fucking 25 minutes long? It could easily be like
15.
5 minutes long. Could
A
easily be 5.
Marxist and a Leninist, and also be an anarchist. Those two things are diametrically opposed to one another. They have a mind for direct action.
I mean, people claim to
so
be
I'm
it
just gonna
anyway. You can't ignore that those
get into
fucking
this.
people exist. Like,
Dude, he's so meandering too.
On a new video released today by Project Veritas, 2 South Carolina field organizers for the Sanders campaign are secretly recorded admitting that the Sanders
Hey,
campaign
Warcorps, just
attracts
show us
truly
the video.
radical people.
It's out there. You can just play it and then
they've
comment
also
on
recorded
it.
brushing off the human rights atrocities
know what?
committed
But
by
no,
the Soviet
instead, I'm gonna read this wall of text, and I'm gonna do it in this meandering
Dude.
voice.
To respond to what he just said, by the way, if in fact the Sanders campaign does attract radical people, that's besides the fucking point. Because like I said, Trump's campaign attracts radical people.
many
okay?
radical
Bernie's-
people.
Bernie's campaign attracts people from all over the political spectrum, actually. There's even some right-wing people that like Bernie or are like, you know what? Yeah, I kind of agree with him on this or that. So, like, give me a fucking break, dude. You're going to fucking cherry pick, like, oh, a few of his supporters are like this, so therefore...
That means they're
He is-
all like that.
He is one of the most. If you go to the definition of true centrism, Bernie Sanders is actually one of the most centrist candidates that has ever existed. Okay, it's only because the goddamn Overton window has shifted so far to the right because of people like Trump that Bernie is viewed as like left-wing fringe anyway. He's actually a fucking centrist. And the
Universal
fucking,
health care? What a
Oh.
lunatic. He's a socialist communist.
Yeah, oh, and
He
by the
hates
way,
America.
By the way, it's not just Trump. I want to amend that. It's also the fact that the DNC is littered by corrupt fucking neoliberals who are actually just fucking conservatives in disguise. You know, just pretending to be on the other team so they can fucking stack the deck in their favor and the whole government can serve big business and nothing else. The fuck out of here,
Union.
War Corps.
That's odd.
Damn,
That
dude. I knew this one would
No, but
piss
hold
you
on.
off.
What about those SJWs?
And planning violence as a backup plan depending on the
Yeah,
outcome of the Sanders election.
Can I just say one thing real quick? Because, like,
No. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
he brought up to me in a live stream that he was like, "Oh no, when it comes down to it, I'm more of a centrist than most people I know. Like, I try to call out people on all fucking sides, but no, you fucking
No, he
don't. You don't
doesn't.
call people out on all sides. You never fucking call people out on the right wing. You're constantly fucking calling people out who are left wing and going after people like fucking Greta Thunberg. Like, I wanted to bring this up because like he constantly goes after the same fucking 3 people on his channel. He goes after AOC, Bernie, and Greta Thunberg, which I really don't understand. Like, AOC and Bernie, at least they're politicians. They put themselves out there. Not going to critique that, but I mean, still, you should talk about some other fucking people. There's other fucking people to criticize, but for you to look at me and say that you criticize everybody fucking equally, that's just fucking complete and utter fucking bullshit. No, you don't. You're full of fucking shit.
Dude,
Fuck
that's
you.
my same.
He's going to lose.
That's my same fucking criticism of Tim Pool, by the way. Saying fucking, you call yourself a centrist, but you're not. You make you use right-wing talking points. You make right-wing arguments. You frame shit from a right-wing perspective using gotcha fucking questions and shit. Like,
It's kind of like how Dave Rubin calls himself a classic liberal, or Sargon of Akkad call himself a liberalist.
Yeah.
bullshit.
Who's hard.
Veiny
And by the way,
in my
Antifa
mind.
and you truly little radicalist soy boys like this
You
jackass.
fucking soy boy, libtard, SJW, feminazi cucks. Yeah, beta males.
Man.
Fuck you. Ugh.
A lot of these people who use these words like soy boy and like, you know, there's equivalents for people all around the political spectrum. Everyone has that like pet word that they use against their opponents. I feel like, oh my god, like if I really picked it apart, I could compare just how much these people fill the actual stereotypes of what they're claiming rather than being the exact opposite, if you know what I mean. Like I'm sure I could make all these comparisons about fucking War Corps and all these soy boy stereotypes on the internet. I'm sure I could do that if I put enough time into it. Like, I mean, he's a fucking neckbeard on the internet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's like the quintessential person who's often compared to being like a fucking white knight. Like, really? You're gonna make those types of fucking pot shots at people? You in your fucking position?
Yeah. Speaking of his positions, I want to have him on our show to debate women having the right to vote or hold office.
You want to
I looked
debate
at his
him,
Twitter,
Dan?
and it seems like he's against that.
Seriously?
He stated that, like, you know, they should repeal the 19th Amendment, I think it's
Dude.
called.
In my
he's
opinion,
also, like-
he's not even a serious fucking person. Get the fuck out of here.
No, he actually
No, I
believes.
just want to pick his brain. I'm not here to like have a let's have a serious debate about this person stands. It's more about like, you know, what the fuck makes him tick.
Well, I do want a real debate with him on the Orange Man. I'm going to get it. You already made that awesome thumbnail for it, so we're gonna be doing that sometime, hopefully in February or March. I'm gonna debate him because now I have his We follow each other on Twitter, so I can easily put together a fucking group DM and fucking debate him at some point. So yeah.
You might want to think about it because eventually a crackdown's coming.
Okay, any second now.
Yeah, crackdown on your fucking ass, War Corps.
Anyway, so Mason says that these ideas are not outward facing, potentially signaling that the Sanders campaign wants to hide the intentions from the public. I honestly think Sanders has no fucking idea what's going on in his goddamn campaign. I seriously don't. I think Bernie Sanders is actually just a doddering old man that needs to be led around so he doesn't get lost.
Oh my
And
god.
Trump
you
is
have
not.
no-
Yeah, no, I agree with your summary on Donald Trump, War Corps.
Anyway, Daniel Taylor combined with the recordings of the other ones in the last few weeks gave an insight into the mindset
Talk
of
about
the
Biden. That more describes Biden, dude. A doddering
is.
old fool.
Definitely.
It's like
Yeah.
his campaign is just leading him around. Bernie Sanders is way more. Dude, have you seen Bernie Sanders campaigning? What are you talking about? He goes from venue to venue speaking himself, and fucking he got like he is more organized in his own campaign than any other politician.
I never see
You
War
literally
Corps
don't know what
criticizing
you're talking
Biden.
about.
Never. All he does is
Bernie
criticize
Sanders-
the progressives.
Yeah. Oh my
people
god.
Sanders surrounds himself with I bet you $20 they've never even met Sanders.
No, dude, that's not even true. Most people that have worked like, especially anywhere where Bernie Sanders is, he fucking like introduces himself to his fucking campaign staff and shit, and he talks to them and tries to like. That's not even fucking true. Like maybe in states where he hasn't been to, there's some people working for him that don't know him. But like, you don't know what you're talking about. Do a little bit of research into the Sanders campaign before you open your goddamn mouth.
Conversation. Mason elaborated how he envisions the Sanders presidency in the other guy's view, creating a militant labor movement that is institutionalized. By the federal
Come on, hurry it up. Come on, Round Corpse. Come on, roll fucking faster, man. Roll fucking faster already. Come on.
Hate Bernie Sanders. So where are you going to get this institutionalized militant labor movement? What, you motherfuckers that don't look like they have jobs?
Why are you calling my job?
They made during the
no Bernie Sanders supporter has a job.
None. Especially those employed by the campaign.
Yeah, especially those employed by him, exactly.
I already read that. I think the goal is to just build, a coalition. A lot of people. Their politics fall outside the American norm. So the politics are Marxist, Leninist, anarchist, these types of forward that have a mind.
Hey, War Corpse. So what? People who support left-wing candidates don't make any money. Let's compare left-wing states when it comes to how much money they make in total, how rich they are. Let's compare that. Yeah, let's have a comparison of that. Because my buddy Pimp Monkey lives in Mississippi, one of the fucking poorest states in the fucking union, and their fucking infrastructure and they have fucking crime up the fucking ass. There's fucking gang wars breaking out in the fucking prisons. You think that's okay? Look, all I'm saying is that things aren't fucking perfect like people make it out to be.
No, you know what? This entire region full of people living in poverty and despair, they should just pull themselves up by their fucking bootstraps.
You're maybe at best 1% of the population, but two Marxists and Leninists don't get along with anarchists. The political philosophies are in direct opposition of one another. Bernie said the only way we're going to live is if we have this mass movement going after the election. Bernie Sanders will bankrupt the country. I know you've never paid for anything, kid, but guess what?
Fuck yourself,
how do you possibly fucking know that?
What about our fucking wars?
Yeah, Dude, what about all the fucking wars that we pay for? What about the military? They're gonna bankrupt the country. What about how the country is already being bankrupted? How about the fact that Bernie Sanders' Medicare for All bill actually saves money? I know when you people hear that, you just like try and dismiss it and pretend it's not true because it makes you feel better and it makes your arguments hold together more easily, but it's actually fucking bullshit. Okay, Bernie Sanders saves money.
What's he basing that on? Because I mean, like, Canada, they can afford it. Sweden can afford it.
Yeah, all these guys, like, why? Like, what is this bullshit that no, America can't do it? I also love how people stop being like, oh, America can do anything. We're the greatest nation on the
except
face
for
of the
take care
planet.
of ourselves and take care of the ill and injured.
We can't take
Aside
care of
from
our
that,
people.
we can do anything.
Well, what they mean though is we have a great military. Oh, fan-fucking-tastic. We can bomb the shit out of other countries, but we can't take care of our own fucking people, our own dying,
you can also bail out Wall Street. That's fine. That's not a problem. But paying for somebody's healthcare, that's just not at all possible in any conceivable way. It's fucking impossible.
Nothing in life is free.
I don't think anyone is proposing that it's free.
No one.
What they're saying is like, we need a system that cares for people based on necessity rather than their wallet size. That's essentially what people are saying.
So
no one's saying that this is going to be free. They're saying that like, okay, let's adopt a system that's been proven to be more effective, at least financially.
Dude, capitalism isn't going to go away. There's still going to be stuff that's not free. There's still going to be stuff that you have to work for if you want. Even, by the way,
And
I hate that fucking straw man when UBI is brought up too, because people are like, oh, well, people just lose the incentive to work. No, they won't, because all you will get is the basic necessities. No one wants just the basic necessities. There's always an incentive to work and make more money so you can get more shit. Like all that shit that's behind you on those shelves, all those material possessions that you've accumulated. Okay, just because your healthcare is taken care of doesn't mean you no longer have an incentive to acquire those other things.
Yeah, the free stuff
other-
argument is basically like a big fucking
America has
straw
a
man.
great incentive to move on to a universal healthcare because you guys spend way more fucking on healthcare than any other nation on this planet.
And most people here can't even afford health. That's the ridiculous thing. We spend more, but most people here can't fucking afford to get healthcare.
We can't afford to spend less. We just can't afford to lower prices and insure everybody. We just can't do that. That's too expensive. Instead, we'd much rather settle for this system which has led to bankruptcy among, a lot of Americans and continues to fucking deteriorate as time goes on. That's the way we gotta go.
I want the bare necessities. I want those bare necessities. I want.
YouTube, Facebook.
I haven't thought of that
Nationalize
song in
these
years, dude.
Me neither.
Things. Okay, you can't really break up an internet company. This is the problem with an internet, a near internet monopoly like YouTube. You can break YouTube up into 5 different fucking companies,
And you should.
but
And you should.
everybody's just gonna go to YouTube.
That's not how it works,
what?
you dumbass.
Yeah, what? That's just so dumb. That's not even an argument. You can break
Oh,
yeah,
you
it
can
is.
break up
Fuck
YouTube,
you,
but it's
fuck
just
you.
gonna go to YouTube. What?
and then these other subdivisions are gonna cease to exist immediately.
Dude, that's what everybody's fucking waiting for. That's what we're all waiting for. Viable competition will move as soon as there's a fucking viable alternative that can host fucking web, on the same level as fucking YouTube. That's basically what we're waiting for.
Same as
It's a
Google,
monopoly
same
that
as-
needs to be fucking broken up. I'm sorry, but this is something I'm gonna be shouting about until it fucking happens. I don't see how this is not seen as a fucking monopoly. I mean, people have given me arguments before. I understand it's not quite the definition of what a monopoly is, but I don't know. There should be better business practices in this country. That something needs to be done about YouTube. That has way too much of a throttle on one thing. And it's not going to change anytime soon unless something changes about it, unless something has changed about it. You know what I mean?
Is Facebook.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh my god,
By-
just play the
by the
fucking
way-
video and respond to that. That way you don't have to look at this wall of text and awkwardly resume whatever you're reading.
This is a live stream that he edited together that he clipped up. By the way,
Whoa, this is edited? He edited this?
Yeah.
What the fuck,
Kind of.
dude? How the fuck do you edit? Dude, I was about to say, okay, well, I can forgive this because it's a live stream and whatever. I have long meandering pauses in the middle of my live streams too. But dude, if I'm gonna clip up a live stream and make it more palatable, I'm gonna act.
You better make sure to include the clip where you go, for a few seconds.
Oh my
This is part of the
God.
Dave Nordahl show, actually.
Oh yeah, the Dave Nordahl show.
Oh, I skipped over this. For the first time in my
He
life.
also
maybe
skipped
even
over
more-
episode 1 of the Dave Nordahl show, where we kicked your
Oh, yeah.
fucking ass, dude. Seriously.
The one episode you did where you threatened to fucking slit my throat? Yeah. It's kind of curious how that one vanished.
Lives, we're gonna have, if we have Bernie in the White House, we're gonna have a real plan for dual power. We'll have the presidency and we'll have a mass movement.
Okay, fuck this turd. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's
He's
move
full of
on.
shit. Doesn't know what he's talking
Moving
about.
on. Yeah, he does. He's poning the libs right now as we speak.
Yeah, at least leave that to Tim Pool. He can do it somewhat more competently.
Tim Stool.
Oh, do you want to talk about Fuck, I don't have this. Okay, I'm gonna prepare the next story we're gonna cover. But for the time being, let's listen to some Rick Wiles.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Right
favorite.
wing crotch.
Now that we're back, we want to show you kind of a montage of some of the trash that was thrown at us by the Jewish-controlled news media that wants
Oh
to
my
stop
God.
us from expressing our
Right off the bat. It took just like a few seconds, and then immediately, by the way, fuck the Jews.
views. Look, I have 3 constitutional rights at play here. I have the freedom of press. We're a news program right here. This is freedom of press. I have freedom of speech. I have a right as an American to express my views.
Yep.
And we have a right to call you a dumbass too, you fucking fraud, hack salesman. I fucking hate people like this.
God.
And an
These
anti-Semite.
news Nazis are telling us, no, you don't. You don't have those rights in America anymore, and we're going to crush you. Complete control now.
Who the fuck is crushing you, Rick Wiles?
Dude, I can't believe people actually take Mr. Fucktastic here seriously on any fucking level. Like, this guy has a real fucking audience. He has a fucking fake ass. Well, I guess it's actually a real fucking studio, not a green screen. That's really fucking sad that this guy can put something like this together. His fucking phallically shaped fucking table there with his little fucking assistant. That's really
His
fucking
toady.
sad. Yeah, his toady.
Oh, that's a good point, Rick. Oh, yeah, gee, I wish I thought of that.
Willikers, yeah, that was a really funny
I mean, like,
one.
he's fucking comparing himself to people who were subjected or to the tyranny of the fucking Nazi party. Meanwhile, he's touting, like, anti-Semitic views.
Yep.
And it's not like anyone's silencing him. I mean, like, you know, he's got his little fucking studio and his toadies and his audience that provide him with enough profit to keep the show going. Who the fuck? Like, I've never in my life come across a person who has access to all of that and can do all of those things who's at the same time some fucking how being suppressed. You're not being suppressed, Rick Wiles. You're full of shit. You're fucking retarded. I'm sorry. Maybe, like, at some point in your life, somebody told you, like, maybe a doctor, someone who's actually qualified, but I don't think anyone needs qualification to diagnose you with being mentally fucking retarded. This is one of... It's absolutely idiotic how a person can feel so fucking sorry for themselves while at the same time having access to enough wealth to speak to the uneducated masses about being suppressed when they're really fucking not. You're full of shit.
Well, dude, it's that good old Christian persecution complex. As usual, we're so oppressed. Even though our religion is the most popular one in the country and everyone fucking follows it, we're just so oppressed. Even though our fucking holiday fucking devours all the other fucking holidays, we're still oppressed.
I mean, like, you live in a society where if a politician decides not to say God bless America or God bless or anything like that, or if they choose not to attend church at any point, like, that's seen as suspect by most people. They're like, oh, you know, what's up with this? Is he an atheist?
Is he a Muslim?
Is he agnostic? Maybe a Satanist even? Who knows?
Yeah, no, but the Christians are oppressed, you know, not atheists or anything.
crushing all.
It's like you realize like, I'm full of shit.
What the fuck am I saying right now?
In this country. The Zionists are saying, we will control what can be said, what you can think.
The Zionists...
I like the phrasing there, because instead of just saying, like, you know, fuck the Jews who control everything, it's like, well, the Zionists are saying we're gonna...
Yeah, that's a way of worming their way around
like,
it. That's right.
Just be fucking open about your prejudice, dude. Just be open about being, like, a total asshat. At least have enough decency to tell people straight up, like, I'm a bigoted pile of fucking... self-righteous, self-pitying shit. That's what I am.
Look,
I'm Rick Wiles. How do you like me?
The media... Sorry, no, dude, the media does suck the dick of Israel, but that doesn't make them Zionists. I mean, America pretty much sucks the dick of Israel.
Trump does, too.
That has more to do with this dude's beliefs. The fact that America sucks Israel's dick so hard.
And Trump does.
It has more to do with fucking religious, fucking superstitious nonsense about how Israel is God's chosen country or some shit.
Dude,
so it's
you know
actually the Christians' fault that everyone sucks Israel's dick so hard.
This guy should really rename his fucking his entire fucking show. He should rename it from True News to Jew News, because that's all he fucking talks about is the fucking Jews, man. It's always just fucking Jew.
And it's funny too, because like he's got that little fucking cross on his jacket. It's like, okay, well, what about your fucking Messiah? Wasn't he Jewish? I mean, like,
We don't
it's
talk
funny.
about that.
You get
We don't talk about that.
Okay, never mind that tiny little insignificant detail.
He ended
Pay
Judaism.
no attention to the man behind the curtain. Yeah.
He was a Jew, but he
Everything.
like just
What's he-
ended it, so it's different.
Yeah, but he was Jewish, but not really.
With your money,
Yes.
deplatforming and debanking.
Yes. They want complete
Oh, this guy's
control.
trying to throw out terms like deplatforming that this guy's never heard in his life, and he's just like, oh, yes, deplatforming is happening. Yeah, oh, that Alex Jones guy. Yeah, oh, yeah.
of the
This guy doesn't
public
know what the
discourse.
fucking internet is. That's why he needs this helper.
No, he's gonna tell you to wake up.
Up and realize what's happening to your country.
Wake
There's
up.
very little time left to stop the complete takeover. This is a takeover of the United States.
I thought you said they've taken over. I thought you compared yourself to, like, you know, Jews being fucking suppressed by the Nazis. At that point, haven't they taken over? If they're controlling what you're able to say or what views you can hold, haven't they won at that point?
The Jedi are
You're
taking
being
over.
brought into slavery. You're being brought into captivity.
Bondage.
Yes.
Whoa.
And it'll be 100 years before you can break out of
That's an
this.
interesting
You'll
term
live
to use. Oh yeah, he's like, I like how he just spouted that out. Oh, bondage. Yeah, bondage. It's like, oh yeah.
BDSM is
right, your
pretty
kids will-
cool. So.
Look what happened to the Russians. They went 70 years when the Jews took over Russia in 1917.
After the royal family in that country.
Wait, they're talking
Blood
about.
sacrifice.
Wait. They think that the Soviet Union was a Jewish plot. That's what they're
Everything-
saying.
Everything was a Jewish plot, didn't you know? Like the Jews just pull the puppet strings, like the deep state. It's all the Jews, dude. The Jews
Yep.
control the whole fucking country, the whole world, the whole fucking planet. It's all the Jews.
I'm sure this guy supports Trump. So like, where's the, like, how do these people justify, like, how do these people who hate Israel justify voting for Trump when he's a very pro-Israel president? I really don't understand it.
Yes. So it's happening to America right now.
Right-wing crotch.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, I've pulled the thing I said I was going to pull. And we're going to head and play this little clip first. So, Kobe Bryant, dead. That happened. And so you had this news anchor, Allison Morris, I think her name is. She had a bit of a slip-up on air. She accidentally said, well, I'll just go ahead and play it.
All right.
You'll see what happens.
He played on.
Yeah, it seems like he was just the kind of athlete, the kind of star that was perfectly cast on the Los Angeles Lakers. If I can ask you to stay.
Yep. There you go.
Well, you know what they say.
dude.
You know what they say. You know what they say. Hey, dude, here's why
No, I
Underhaven's
don't.
no longer on Twitch. Here's why Underhaven's no longer on Twitch. This is actually why Underhaven's no longer on Twitch, by the way. Like, well, one of the reasons.
Yeah, it kind of is, actually.
Yeah, it is. It kind of is.
Okay,
Yeah.
dude. The fact
So,
that
here's-
that was said on the news in the context it was said, dude. What kind like just to mix, like,
perfectly
basketball-
cast.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. So here's her tweet following this. And you can see it got a little bit of attention. You can see it there. 253,000 likes. So, Allison Morris, earlier today, while reporting on the tragic news of Kobe Bryant's passing, I unfortunately stuttered on air, combining the names of the Knicks and the Lakers to say Nakers. Please know I did not and would never use a racist term. I apologize
not
for
what
the
it sounded
confusion this
like.
caused.
That's not what
Yes,
it
it's
sounds
basically
like.
it's basically like I'm denying that this happened, but I apologize for people who think that I accidentally said the thing that I supposedly said. So it's a bit of a bullshit excuse, but even then, it's like, is it apologizing to the Twitter crowd? I've yet to see it pan out the way people intended to, like, ever. I've never seen it work out.
No, dude. Like, fuck the apology shit in general. But honestly, I mean, if you're gonna say a word, you might as well just fucking own it and be like, "Yep, I said this," and you know, even if you're like, you know what, I shouldn't have said it, or like, you know, it was the wrong time and place. Because I honestly don't care if people fucking say what words people say. It's about the context. Although I will say that's a pretty. It's kind of weird. It's obviously just a slip up in her mind.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's kind of a weird one.
Yeah.
Kind of a suspicious one. It's like,
Yeah, it's kind
you know,
of.
you're
Yeah,
talking about
you're right.
basketball and a black dude, and it's clear you have no idea what you're talking about. So it's whatever. I guess no. She mixed up the words, guys.
She did a racist.
She mixed
dude.
up the two words.
No, she's just accidentally racist.
I don't know that she's
don't worry.
racist. No, because I'm not gonna say that she's racist. It might have just been a subconscious thing.
Well,
Okay.
I'm not saying
But-
that she is racist, but she did a racist. You know what I'm talking about? Like that,
Yeah,
that was
she
a,
did a racism, and the Twitter hate mob is gonna, you know.
That's yeah. Like I said, I don't agree with ending someone's entire career with that. That's like not
Check
a
this
good-
out. So, hold on. Let me.
It's
Can I move this up a bit? No.
honestly though, dude,
can't-
it would make the
you
news
can't
more
see it, damn it.
entertaining.
I'll
Yeah,
put it
more
on screen.
entertaining
I'll put it on
if-
screen in the editing. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to show it to the people watching live. I'll hold on. Whatever.
I'm Chris.
So,
with Dateline.
I'm Chris Hansen, and you're racist. Please have a seat.
Yeah.
Have a seat, Allison Morris. More like Allison Moron. Fucking racist pile of shit.
Oh, you got him, dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, wrecked. So I want to show this. So this is a thumbnail that I saw a few days ago. So if you look this up on Google, Allison Morris racist, you'll see this. Now following it, like if you click on the thumbnail, it shows you like the full resolution image, which seems to have changed. Now this is the thumbnail being used. So it went from racist reporter to racial slur or not.
I'm sure there's no amendment like formally made about this either. They just tried to sweep it under the rug and
Yeah.
pretend like they never did it.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't obviously I haven't looked into this beyond what I've seen now, but
yeah,
it would not surprise me if they did.
that's
that.
generally how they do it. How they do their business. Yeah.
Yeah. So Allison Morris, yeah, this is not gonna go away. Like even if you apologize constantly, like for the remainder of this year, like it's not gonna. There's never gonna be a point where people forget about this. So I do have some level of like sympathy where it's like, okay, well, if this is a fair mistake, which I think it is, because I mean, like, who the fuck, if you're like this news anchor, why would you just go live and just be like, oh yeah, the Los Angeles niggers or something? Like, who the fuck would voluntarily do that, especially when talking about Kobe Bryant dying?
Exactly.
And so-
Yeah.
yeah. So it's like I don't, even if she like even a racist wouldn't do that. I don't think they would. I think they would conceal that with like the lingo they use.
I agree.
But
Yeah, it would be coded.
as for like apologizing to the people on Twitter, it's not gonna pay off.
No.
You bowing your head in shame, it's not gonna result in any in the situation getting better. So on the off chance you see this, Allison, best of luck. But if I'm being honest, I think you're fucked. Sorry.
Yep. In the butt.
Career
Right.
over.
In the butt. In the butt. In the butt. In the butt.
Hashtag Ellison Morris cancelled. Yes.
Yeah, you're smoked. You're fucking smoked, bitch.
Yeah, she's full and dead,
Yep.
and I kill her.
Dope.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say. All right.
Okay, here's why Underhaven no longer exists on Twitch.
So John Delaney drops out of the Democratic presidential race. Who could have seen this coming?
Finally.
John Delaney.
I'm sad, yo. I'm sad.
Hey, SWEGTA.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do without him?
Da-na-na-na.
And
he fucking drops out.
Yeah, then he drops out of the race because he's a fucking Simpsons character, not a political candidate.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna find something that I can show to the people. But yeah, John Delaney's dropped out. Animancer, if you want to read the article while I.
All right. But let me say this real fast. Was he ever actually in to begin with? But yeah, no, he announced on Friday.
He was actually one of the first people to announce him running for president.
Oh, really? Yeah, it says here he announced it in summer of 2017. Wow. So yeah, he was one of the first people to announce it, and one of the first fucking. At least he actually announced it, unlike Joe Biden, who announced his campaign with a stumble. I'll give him that. Like he actually announced his campaign instead of just having an old boomer moment and just fucking instantly forgetting when he was supposed to announce it. But yeah.
Yeah, and having a Freudian slip be the way he announces his candidacy. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So he said, it's clear to me on Monday on caucus night, I will not have sufficient support to get the 15% viability threshold that I need to get delegates out of Iowa. So he's not going to be able, he basically realized he's not going to get any further, and he conceded his campaign, which is like, that, you never stood for anything to begin with, so might as well end your campaign here. He didn't even endorse another fucking Democrat. He just said that he'd support whoever fucking is nominated, which just goes to show this guy has no spine or backbone. He represents nothing at all. He was just another fucking loser name who's wasting everybody's time. This guy was getting fucking questions while fucking Bernie and fucking Yang and Tulsi were fucking getting ignored. Any of the fucking candidates that anyone gives a fucking shit about, even the ones I'm not particularly fan of, who at least I can admit some people give a shit about, who are wasting time on fucking Homer Simpson over here the whole time. Oh my god.
True.
Oh, dude. Oh, God.
The Simpsons.
I'm gonna pull this up on the overlay. Hold on, because I don't want to show people my private messages.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I before John Delaney closed off his Twitter profile to like only receiving messages from people he follows, I sent him this.
Wait, you did? You sent him that? You actually sent that to John Delaney? You did?
Yep.
You can't believe it.
I didn't say anything. I said fucking nothing. I just sent this image, and then that was it. He never responded. I think he saw it though. It had like that little, this message has been received.
Yeah, and he doesn't have campaign staff, so he probably saw it himself. Like, yeah, dude.
Oh,
dude. So someone was speculating that maybe the reason he dropped out is because he came across that DFF episode last week about him. And he was like, "Ooh, someone made a podcast about me," because he's totally the sort of guy who like Googles his name and shit.
Oh, of course, dude. Jake and I, we had a look at John Delaney's YouTube channel. For one, he's got like no viewers at all and subscribers. But like, if you look up clips of John Delaney, they're more often than not they're put up on his channel by John Delaney. So they're like, I think it's safe to say that like he saw the episode. I don't know. I don't think that's what made him pull out of the race. I think the fact that he was wasting like millions of dollars was the cause for that. But yeah, the thought did occur to me. It did cross my mind that possibly John Delaney ended his campaign because of this. But who knows? Who knows?
Wouldn't be surprising.
Yeah. So John Delaney wrecked.
I mean, let's be honest. His campaign was over before it started.
More people would vote for a fictional character like Homer Simpson, honestly.
They would do. I bet you could get more people to write in Homer Simpson
than John Delaney. Yeah, oh, dude, definitely. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude. If John Delaney is like on the ticket and like you have the choice, John Delaney, or you could write in Homer Simpson, more people would write in Homer Simpson than select John Delaney.
I think so too. Yeah.
Especially if it was made a meme.
Agreed.
Yeah. I'm looking at this article and it's just fucking depressing. They keep
one?
mentioning like his failings and shit.
Oh, he fails in spectacular ways, doesn't
he? Yeah. For instance, this. The end of Delaney's campaign has been in view for months. Ever since the candidate failed to garner support in any polls and slowed the ad spending that had defined his early campaigning. So it's basically like he spent a bunch of money and it didn't result in anything.
Dude, what a fucking chump. This guy can't satisfy a woman either. Like, he has no redeeming qualities at all in his fucking arsenal. Fuck John Delaney. He's nobody's fucking president, dude. At least every other candidate's for somebody's fucking president, but John Delaney, he's nobody's president. We have a bigger fucking audience, and we're not running for fucking president. Nobody knows who the fuck we are, but more people care about us than John Delaney.
Yeah, dude, it's true.
No! Dude, that's his campaign in a nutshell, dude. It's
that should have been his campaign slogan from the get-go.
Dude, we're bigger than John Delaney. I don't think he's a terrible person. I just think he's an idiot. He's a laughingstock, dude. Like,
well, I mean, he wants to deny the American people universal health care, so I think that kind of makes him an asshole. But aside from that, I don't know if he's a terrible person. So let's get into some Twitter twats. Let's get into some twats on Twitter. So you had a back and forth with Sarah from, I think this is the significant other of Jake from Hannah and Jake. I caught myself there. I almost said Hugo and Jake. Force a habit, but I caught myself. So this is Jake's girlfriend Sarah.
I believe I couldn't
So-
find this thread. I don't know. I don't know if it was deleted. I don't want to say it was deleted because I don't know for sure. I just couldn't find it. But luckily, you sent me this screenshot because you were very happy about this particular moment, which is really what fucking matters. And
Yeah.
yeah,
So do you want to tell people about it, what happened, just to kind of give them some context?
we covered this on the show yesterday. Last week, and we said that we would follow it up. Basically, we were talking about that Stephen King quote, which he, by the way, he has since rescinded. He since tried to give in to the SJWs and their critics, and he made
Steven. Steven.
Yep, he fucking disappointed everybody, and he wasn't willing to stand his ground or even just clarify his statement to be like, no, this is not what I meant. He fucking completely fucking conceded, which is really sad.
Oh.
And I basically
Stephen
said
King.
I basically said like people shouldn't care about like what a character in media is when it comes to their skin color or their appearance. What should matter is can you identify with this character and their personality traits with what really matters. Like, you know, if it relates to a kid, does it really need to relate to like a black kid or a white kid specifically? I think that's kind of obtuse. Like I was able to relate to fucking The Last Airbender and I wasn't an Asian bald kid. Like, you know, I was able to relate to Aang. He was a pretty relatable fucking kid. That was a great fucking show. And basically she ended up saying something to me like, oh, you're speaking as if you're someone who's been represented their entire life, which look, that's not explicitly assuming that I am a white male, but but it pretty much is, right? It pretty much is.
It's also, I mean, like, it's implying, like, you know, you have privilege. You're part of this, you know, upper class of, you know, the social hierarchy.
Which is not true. Which is not true.
That's bullshit on the face.
She
but
has
I'm tired
no
of
fucking
people-
idea of. Yeah.
I'm tired of people assuming that in general of people. Like, oh, you have privilege. You have privilege. No, unless someone's a rich fuck with rich parents who has a fucking trust fund and lives in a mansion like that fucking kid at the beginning in that stupid fucking music video, then no, that like, you can't just assume that they're privileged.
I agree. I completely agree. Doing that type of shit, it just makes your arguments look fucking hollow. Like, you should be able to argue with someone's pure substance without assuming bullshit about them. Like, it isn't assuming things about and like traits about people like what a lot of leftist people claim to be against, but they engage in these same types of fucking activities, this same type of fucking hypocrisy. And you know, I will at least concede, like, you know, I was given an apology on some fucking level, and I accepted it because I'm a fucking man. I'm sure most of these people, if that was done to them on some level, they would not accept it. They would not let go of it. But I accepted it, and I let go of it because I'm a fucking man.
I mean, honestly, I think the apology is kind of bullshit because it is. It's prefaced with "if I misjudged." It's like, no, you flat out judged.
You did.
You assumed all kinds of character traits of Animancer based on a stance that he has that you beg to differ on. That's not.
Well,
that doesn't call for you to assume his personality. And beyond that, even if he is this privileged person, I mean, like, what the fuck? That has no bearing on his argument at all.
Yeah.
So,
well, can I just say,
your
though,
apology?
If Animancer does have, like, you know, Animancer's not white, so like therefore, oh, it's okay for him to have this opinion. So if I have the exact same opinion as Animancer, is mine invalid because I'm a white male, but his isn't valid because he's not?
This is what I wanted to bring up to Warcorpse when I talked to him inevitably too, because he thinks that people aren't allowed to have certain opinions on 9/11 if they aren't American. And SWEGTA and I, we pretty much have, at least in certain regards, pretty much the same fucking opinion on it. And I think it's ridiculous that he can look at me and he can look at SWEGTA and he can say, "Oh no, only your opinion is valid because you're an American," when we're literally saying the same fucking thing.
It's funny though, even if it's like, you know, a really basic opinion that I think he would agree with. If I were American, like 9/11 was bad. It's like, well, no, you're not American. You're a European, so shut the fuck up. Sit down and be quiet. I mean, it's absurd. And like I said, it should have no bearing at all on an argument somebody makes. If she if there's like a point of contention between you and her on a topic, you could easily just talk about that. But instead, it had to be like this personal thing, and she had to get personal with it and be like, "Oh, well, you have privilege. You speak like someone who."
No, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, you shouldn't have to bring up someone's identity in order to argue with them. Okay?
Arguments should stand on their own. I agree.
Yeah, that's such fallacious reasoning. Like, your argument shouldn't change depending on who you're talking to. It should be the same argument no matter what.
Well, that's the attack a lot of people had against Stephen King. They're like, okay, well, you're a privileged white man, so what do you know?
That's bullshit, dude. I'm sorry. A privileged white man can still come. Like, as long as it's the correct opinion, it doesn't mean it doesn't matter who's coming to it.
Dude, somehow, what we're saying right now is racist to some people. Like,
yeah,
I'm not gonna say everyone would simplify it to that, but to some people, what we're saying right now is somehow fucking racist, and that's absolutely fucking ridiculous.
No, we should totally judge people based on the color of their skin.
Oh,
and we should
yeah,
totally,
yeah.
like, only identify with characters in media that have the same skin color as us. Get the fuck out of here. That's racism, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you, as a black person, can't look at a white character and identify with them, then you're racist. Because you know what? I identify with plenty of black characters, plenty of Asian characters, plenty of female characters. I identify with a whole bunch of characters that I share no character traits with. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
You're the racists.
Back when I was a kid, one of my favorite fucking animated shows was Static Shock. And I never thought anything of the character being black. I was like, okay, it's a fucking show. That's kind of how I was raised too. Just not give a shit about anyone's skin color and just judge people personally. So yeah.
I grew up watching so many like shows that starred black characters. Like that was mostly what I watched. In fact, that was what I seemed to like identify with the most. Like shows like Everybody Hates Chris, you know, kids growing up in the ghetto, you know, growing up poor and shit. I actually identified with shit like that. And I'm white. So who are you to say who has privilege because of the color of their skin? I grew up poor. I grew up fucking disadvantaged. So, like what? Oh, but I'm white. I'm white, so I have extra privilege. The fuck out of here.
You know, I'll just say this, like, Sarah, unlike you, I don't dismiss people based on what they look like.
Nope.
Just put it that way.
Yep.
So let's move on.
There you go.
Moving on.
Jay grew up without a pool. Yeah, I did, dude. There's another thing I have in common with Paul. I grew up without a pool.
Bad back.
I do have a bad back, dude.
You're stealing all of his traits, dude. You're stealing his shtick. Oh man.
Trying, yeah.
What the fuck is happening to humanity?
What now?
Let's talk about Blizzard. So, I think you guys talked a bit about this on the pre-show, maybe?
I might have mentioned it a little bit,
Yeah. So, Reforged is a forced downgrade for classic users. Now, I don't know anything about WoW. I don't know anything about
okay, this isn't
I don't know anything about about what they're selling. So, you're going to have to clue me in on this.
Okay, so basically Warcraft III Reforged, it's basically just a remake of a classic fucking PC game. One of the fucking games that put Blizzard on the map, and then they completely fucking botched it, right? They just completely fucking botched everything about it. They made a terrible fucking experience. Basically, the game that they put out is inferior in every way to the original, except in terms of graphics, but even then the game runs so much like shit that it's unplayable. So they completely botched a game that had a fan base for about 17 years now, that was still having modding done to it, that was still having people putting into it.
WoW used to be fucking huge. Like, I remember, back in the 2000s, so many people that I knew played it. And recently, I looked into, like, some statistics. I don't know when exactly. I think, like, about a year ago. It's maybe not recently, but I saw that there was, like, a huge, steady decline in player activity from, like, 2009 to, like, 2015. So I assume this was like the catalyst for that. Just like the fact that they kept changing the game despite people wanting it to remain the same. Right?
No, so this is really confusing to a lot of people. So this isn't World of Warcraft.
Okay.
Before World of Warcraft, which was the MMO, there were RTS games. There are 3 RTS games, Warcraft 1, 2, and 3, which are kind of like StarCraft. You're familiar with StarCraft on some level, I'm sure, right? The gameplay of that?
Vaguely.
Yeah. So it was basically like a fantasy version of that. That's what Warcraft was. But this was a beloved game. This was basically one of the games that, like I said, it put Blizzard on the fucking map. It was a competitive hit for fucking years. This game has so much fucking respect. It's even worse than if if Rockstar completely botched a fucking remake of San Andreas, which I'd say is probably one of their most beloved games of all time. This is equivalent to that.
by far.
Yeah, this is equivalent to that.
Haven't they been working on this for years too?
They've been working on it for like 3 years. Like, here's the thing: like, originally they were going to update the assets. They were going to make some new cutscenes. They were going to add some additional, like, they were going to update the plot a little bit and shit like that. They were going to make some quality of life changes to make it a game that belongs in fucking a game that belongs in 2018 because that's when it was supposed to come out.
That's all you need to do with a remake, dude. You don't need to do anything more than that.
Yeah, but they didn't even do that. They cut so many things. They cut promises. Like, there was originally supposed to be like completely remastered cutscenes with like dynamic camera angles and shit like that. They even showed it in a fucking trailer, and that trailer is still up on Blizzard's website advertising the game to this day, but what you find in the game is completely fucking different. It looks like it's just right out of fucking 2004. Like, the cutscenes are just literally just the fucking units, like, not even moving their fucking mouths, just fucking standing around with fucking chat bubbles coming up. It's fucking shameful.
Damn.
And it's funny too, because like a lot of games, especially multiplayer online games, like if you look at RuneScape, a lot of people they have so much nostalgia for it, and they do for WoW too. Like even a shitty little fucking flash game like Habbo. I mean, like people have nostalgia for that. Some people do, and so when they quote unquote upgrade it to the extent that it becomes kind of like a shell of its former self, and it loses that tone that it initially had. When you decide not to do that, and when you neglect the high demand that exists for it, or at least the whatever demand exists, people are not going to be happy. Whether they play the new one or the old one, or they want something in between. To me, it sounds like something like that. It sounds like they're trying to deliver on this product that they've somehow just botched.
See, it is hard to do, but it's not impossible, and it's funny that you bring up RuneScape as an example. There's two versions of RuneScape right now. There's RuneScape, and then there's RuneScape Classic, which is more like basically they've continued releasing content to the theme of what the game used to be, so they can appeal to people who want more modern dynamics from the more quality of life changes from the current game, and they have a base for people who want the old fashioned style of the game, like the old fashioned style of MMO, which is so severely missing from like people actually wanting to invest their times and play an actual fucking role-playing game. These days, MMOs, just like any other fucking online system, are just used to fucking prey on cosmetics and find any fucking way to like penny pinch people. I will say there are some exceptions. I do like Elder Scrolls Online, but even that is monetized in a certain way where it's like, oh, get this and you'll get fucking cosmetics. And I'm tired of all the fucking penny pinching, okay? I'm tired of all the fucking penny pinching. People were afraid that this game was going to be filled with cosmetics. One thing I will say about this remake, they didn't fucking fill it with cosmetics, but if they did, people would have had fucking heart attacks, because how it is right now is just so fucking shameful. The game runs like shit. You can't even go and play the unreforged version, even because I bought the original version like 10 years ago because I wanted to play it, because I was a huge fan of World of Warcraft at the time. I wanted to play Warcraft 3. I wanted to see the fucking series roots, so that's what I did. And I can't go and I can't play that fucking game that I've enjoyed for fucking over a fucking decade now, just because they updated all the art assets for some reason. They completely scrapped what came before it, and now they're asking me for $30 more to play this game that I bought fucking 10 years ago with no option to play the original, which actually runs better and has better interfaces and more fucking content.
Damn. That's fucking bullshit, dude. This is why I fuck the video game industry. This is why I believe the whole fucking video game industry needs to fucking crash. Fuck these companies. Fuck the business model of these companies that has just turned into how much money can I get out of people?
Yep.
How many fucking microtransactions can I get people to fucking buy?
It's pathetic, man.
It used to be you buy a fucking game and you get a full amount of content and it's right there and you own it forever.
Look at all these people reporting issues.
Yeah, somebody said they deleted everything I loved about the game.
They did.
It had 45 upvotes.
That's sad. That is fucking
What
sad.
new
dude.
feature,
Yeah.
shill?
Here's the thing. The only good thing that Blizzard released let me just say this real fast. The only good thing that Blizzard released in 2019 was World of Warcraft Classic, which was a near fucking perfect recreation of World of Warcraft as it was in 2014. It doesn't fucking say it all. The best thing that they released in 2019 was something that they released fucking years and years, over fucking almost 2 decades ago now is when that fucking game. That's what we're quickly fucking approaching. And that's the best thing that they put out in 2019. That's how fucking far this fucking company is falling. If you asked me what all my fucking favorite game companies were in 2015, I would have told you Bethesda, Blizzard, Nintendo, Rockstar. Look how fucking far these juggernauts have fucking fallen. They used to put out such fucking quality games, and now fucking SWEGTA is able to put out a fucking video like multiple times a fucking week talking about how fucking shitty Rockstar is. They have that many bad fucking business practices. I see it with Blizzard too. People whose entire channel they can just keep talking about shitty things that Blizzard's done because there's a new fucking thing with these companies every week, and it's not fucking reaching. It's talking about real fucking things that gamers deserve to know about.
Yep.
Indeed.
Yep. And it's
They've
bad
all
for
fallen,
you.
dude.
Yeah, it's bad.
They've all
I'm trying to
fallen.
find this tweet somebody sent me.
Okay.
That kind of relates.
I need
to
a smoke, man. Let me cool down for a minute. I'll give you guys the reins for a second. Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Whatever. I'll just go to my Twitter and see if I can find it. Twitter.
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 Is that Warcorpse?
Twitter,
Of course it is.
Okay, here you go. So here's a here's a tweet I got from some fucking retard on Twitter. So go away, you moron! All you do is bash on Rockstar, even though I defended them twice in the past couple of videos I did.
Yeah.
Stop with all this horse shit, you disgusting ogre. I'm a disgusting ogre now. Sweet.
Okay.
Awesome, but yeah. Stop it, you horrible asshole. You should be grateful that Rockstar has made and given us so many incredible video games throughout the decades. So stop, dude. Stop.
Oh,
Go
dude.
away. I should be grateful, even though like I pay for them.
I hate
And
that
even
narrative.
though like, I'm basically, even though I'm basically like a walking advertisement for Rockstar, I should be grateful as somebody who has paid
dude.
full price over and over again. Like I've probably made like Rockstar fucking thousands of dollars by now, given like the amount of games I bought from them and how many
You
people
caused me-
yeah,
you caused
I've
me to
led
buy
so many
Bully.
people.
I
Yeah,
bought
I was
the
just gonna
Bully
say like I've led so many
scholarship
people
edition
to
on
buy
Steam.
the game. Yeah. So it's like, okay, well, I should be grateful. I mean, like, even if I had not paid for a single game, even if I torrented all of them, there's, like, no, I don't owe them anything, especially when it comes to talking about them engaging in shady practices. You know, like Take-Two Interactive harassing somebody's family, or abusing the DMCA on YouTube, or maybe, you know, a fault with Rockstar Games, like a lack of dedicated servers.
Just throw out your fucking moral compass. No, just fucking suck Rockstar's dick because they make some games that you like. They can do no wrong. And if someone says something bad about them, then go on fucking Twitter and talk shit about them. Be a fucking disgusting ogre and talk shit on someone just for having a different opinion to you. Be a horrible asshole and just fucking suck Rockstar's dick. That's all you need to do.
Dude, this is something else that I hate about the game industry right now, is that it creates fans that are just complete fucking sycophants.
Yeah.
That will just defend the franchise no matter what it does. Just like Nintendo fans, just like Square Enix fans. They will defend it. Blizzard fans, they will defend it no matter what. They don't care. And then they'll be like, oh, well, you should be grateful because they make great games for us. Oh, you mean because they fucking scam us? Because they force us to pay full price for shit that's like incomplete and that has literally less content than full price games like 20 years ago?
You know what it is? It's capitalizing on people's passion. I've said that many times, but that's a very apt word to use here.
Because they know people get excited for these games, so they build the hype with shit like E3 and with little teasers and shit, and they get people fucking hyped and passionate and like, fuck yeah, I can't wait for the next game. And then when one person fucking talks shit, it's like, how dare you talk shit about the shit that I'm so excited for? Well, not everyone is so fucking blind. Yeah.
It's funny because if you apply this kind of logic, I'm using that term loosely, if you apply this kind of logic to like anything else, it just, you can tell how fucking ridiculous it sounds. It's kind of like, you know, if when Tool put out their new album, if fucking Maynard James Keenan did something shitty, and I call that out, it'd be fucking like idiotic for somebody to be like, okay, well, you should be grateful. Look at all the entertainment they provided you over the years, which you've paid for, so it's a fair deal, because, you know, it's supply and demand. You should be grateful.
Dude, what if we changed Underhaven and like made it shitty and made the show nothing but us reading super chats the whole time, and then when people complain, we'll like, what? How dare you complain? We're providing you with so much content.
That would never happen on the internet, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no,
Never.
you're right. That's a really far-fetched scenario. I don't know why I brought it up.
That's a really sure-fetched scenario indeed. All right.
It will never happen. So we have one more story about Warcraft 3. So there you go. Lay it on down.
Okay, I guess I can rant a little bit about this. This is just kind of like springboarding off something I mentioned earlier. But yeah, Warcraft 3 Reforged's story won't be retconned by WoW at all, which basically means they were gonna because so much has changed between in these 17 years. So many books, so many miniseries have come out. There's been so many retcons, so many changes to the lore to be accustomed to the modern day. So what they were gonna do is they were gonna completely remake this fucking remake the story, like not from scratch, but what they were going to do is they were going to take what was already there and they were going to insert a bunch of these references to things that would happen later on to kind of like to bring everything together and make everything feel more cohesive. So that way people going back to play it who are familiar with the game right now, they'd get an even stronger grasp on how everything fits together. It was supposed to be this big way to make more Warcraft fans, to make the franchise a lot more accessible, and they were like, nope, we're not going to do that. It's just going to be the exact same story that came out in 2004. So people who have already played it, if you're not interested in just getting... Well, because that's why I was interested in it, right? Because I wanted to see how the story was going to change. But no, I'm not interested in just a basic reskin of the same game I played. So no, I lost all interest as soon as I found this out. And they didn't announce this, by the way. This was just like a stealth announcement that someone gave in an interview. This was a huge major feature of the remake, and they just completely swept it under the rug like the bastards they are.
Do you think they did that to avoid a backlash?
See, it was a mixed opinion, but that's not why I think they did it. I think that's that's probably their excuse. That's probably the PR excuse that they have. Like if you ask a Blizzard person, they'd probably say no, we just want to maintain the integrity of the original game. But no, the reason why they didn't do it is because that would have costed way more resources. It would have taken more time. Yep. It would have taken thought and writing. Like the Christy Golden, who's the main writer for the entire Warcraft series now. She's like the head writer of the entire fucking universe. She was penned down to help out with the game, and that obviously meant that we were going to get original story content and shit like that, right? But no, nothing came of it. Nothing new happened.
But no.
And they didn't remake any of the cinematics or anything. They didn't change anything. And the one cinematic that they did update, because they had time to apparently update only one of the cinematics, and it was a fucking joke. It was a shameful display. It was one of the worst, most pathetic fucking things. It was not It was not up to Blizzard's quality at all. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna insert, because Blizzard's not. I'll give them this. They're not a stickler about this. I'm going to insert a very brief clip of that for the people who are watching the edited version, so you guys can check that out. But if you guys, you guys can go watch that on your own accord if you're watching this live. But it's fucking sad.
All right, welcome back.
Yeah,
you were saying?
Yeah, welcome back. Oh yeah, so I really don't know what else to say. Like Warcraft 3 Reforged has just been this complete fucking botch job. It had so much fucking potential. I feel like it could have been fucking huge when it was announced. I had a lot of ambitious I was just hyped for it, and it's one of the few things that I let myself get hyped for from Blizzard for a long time, because I was like, look, as long as they don't stick too much monetization into it, then it'll probably be fine. And when they announced that, hey, we aren't going to be monetizing this with like skins or anything, I was like, whoa, holy shit, maybe they're actually serious about this. Like, that's very rare. Like, maybe it'll actually be good. And then it was just completely fucking botched, probably because they didn't have that financial incentive to invest in it. And what's this mean? This means we're probably never going to get fucking Warcraft 4, that one game that everybody has been clamoring for the longest time. Sorry, Blizzard fans. Like, you wanted a new RTS game in the Warcraft universe? Well, you're never going to get it. Be happy with fucking StarCraft 2, which is, by the way, never going to get a fucking sequel. We're done with RTS games. They don't make enough money. Let's invest into other fucking bullshit like this card game that we update every fucking 3 months for the worst.
Games.
Fuck.
Dude, that's the biggest cash grab ever. Is like, oh, we're gonna start a card game.
Yep, that's all Hearthstone is, which is the Blizzard card game.
it kind of reminds me of I don't know if this was Blizzard, but I think they announced like a Diablo game that
Yeah, Diablo
people
Immortal.
got hyped for. Yeah, exactly. And it was like this big deal for a while, and then just like, you know, a typical just like video game wet fart. They're like, oh well, this is for iOS and Android. And immediately when they announced that, people are like, well, okay, well, is it not going to be on PC? And then eventually somebody walked up and like told them at a Q&A, like, is this an out of season April Fool's joke or something like that?
I remember that.
Yeah, and it's funny, like, their attempt at diffusing that was just kind of like, well, don't you guys have phones? It's like, well, yeah, they do. They just don't want to play your fucking shitty phone games. They want to play like the real shit.
Dude, that's how I felt about the new Kingdom Hearts, because they just announced a new Kingdom Hearts game is coming out, but it's gonna be a mobile game, and I'm supposed to be excited, even though I've hated the last Kingdom Hearts
phone,
mobile game
Jay.
and ranted about how fucking terrible it is.
Well, Jay, you don't have a phone?
Crap it is.
Yeah,
you have phones,
Jay, you know
right?
what? You should be grateful. You know, you have a phone, you have all these good games, and then you have another good game on the phone. What are you whining about?
Can I just say for a second, the fact is there are no good phone games. There just aren't. The odds are, if someone announces a game for a phone, all it's going to be is a cynical fucking cash grab. There's going to be no fucking fun or entertainment, no fucking actual effort put into it.
Hold on. Dude, I'll tell you this. I've played Monopoly on the phone, and it was not a cynical cash grab, so
Dude,
I resent what you just
Jay,
said.
eventually
it's very rare, dude.
Eventually, all that's gonna be left, dude, is fucking phone games. We're gonna have to change the name of our show to the fucking Phone Rejects, man. We're gonna have to only talk about fucking mobile games like Super Mario Odyssey.
Stop!
Super Mario Odyssey
with this
2
fucking
for
phone
iOS.
game bullshit.
You know what I mean? Yeah, no,
stop.
dude, it's gonna happen,
Knock it
dude.
off.
Call of Duty for iOS. It's gonna be a fucking thing. Dude, Bully 2 for iOS. It's all gonna happen on iOS.
No.
It's all gonna happen, dude. Everything's gonna be a cynical cash grab with
maybe.
Dude, Dino Dollars.
Grand Theft Auto 6 on phone.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 6 on Android and iOS.
Maybe if the gaming industry learns to make proper mobile games that actually feel like video games and don't feel like fucking cash grabs, then maybe I'd get excited for that shit. But I'm not excited for games on my phone anymore. I play fucking Yu-Gi-Oh on my phone now. I got the fucking Yu-Gi-Oh game. I've been playing it, but even that game wants my fucking money. Every game wants my fucking money.
Well, if you buy enough crocodile cards, then you might be able to have a more fun experience in the future.
Dude, can I just respond to the chat? No, Super Mario Kart World Tour was not awesome. It was awesome for 5 minutes until you realize it's just as shitty as all these other mobile games, where it literally wants you to pay like $45 for Diddy Kong.
$40 for Diddy Kong
on a real fucking Mario Kart game with all the characters.
Yep.
Disgusting.
Yeah, I said to you. Yeah, I remember I said 20 more for deluxe, but you could buy Mario Kart 7 on the 3DS for probably even less than $40 these days.
You could buy Mario Kart fucking you could buy one of the older ones like on Virtual Console or some shit.
But no, let's buy this, right? Let's buy fucking Diddy Kong, one fucking character for $40 because it's on a phone. Dude, that's probably why Nintendo's so afraid of putting all those old Mario Karts on the Virtual Console on Switch. They don't want people to have that appeal on the go, so that way they can go to their fucking phone model, which is bullshit.
That's exactly why.
Any plans to make this playable on PC, or is this strictly mobile forever?
Are there any? The current plan is to be on mobile, both Android and iOS. We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC.
Ooh. Yep.
Do you guys not have phones? Yeah, you guys all have phones.
Oh my god, do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you know, you empty-headed fucking consumer drones. You guys have phones, right? You know, you buy that shit.
Wait, do you guys not have dicks? Do you guys not have dicks?
You guys don't have money? Come on, just give us your money.
No one likes phone games, dude. No one.
Yeah, they do. Look at it. Look at all of them. They're cheering.
Dude, imagine being in this conference. Because let me elaborate. So basically, what this audience here wanted, they wanted the announcement of Diablo 4.
Yeah.
Everyone was getting ready for the Diablo announcement, so they really wanted Diablo 4, especially since like Diablo 3, at least at first, it was very divisive. Like I don't know if you heard about that, but there was a lot of controversy about Diablo 3 when it first came out.
I did. They had a lot of server issues and shit like that.
Because it was always online back when DRM. It's still a huge thing, but that was back when it was just starting to become a problem and people were very vocal about it. So yeah, Diablo 3 had that always online. It had that real life auction house which you could buy and sell things with real money. Fucking ridiculous. It broke the fucking game completely. It made it a completely unauthentic experience. But apparently they fixed the game eventually. So people have been looking forward to the fourth installment for years, and they were treated by this instead. People flew out from the entire fucking country, from all around the fucking country, to come to this fucking announcement, and that's what they were greeted with: a fucking phone game. And the fucking dismissive attitude of these assholes being like, "What? You don't have phones? You don't have phones?
You guys have phones, right? You guys have phones. You have money too.
So
what's the problem?
So
you have a credit card. You can spend fucking thousands of dollars on microtransactions, right? What?
At the latest,
you guys don't like that?
At the latest BlizzCon, I was expecting a lot. I don't know why I was, but I was, because they had so little to show at the BlizzCon prior, and they showed off Diablo 4. They finally showed off Diablo 4, but I mean, it just looked like it was so clearly like in very, very early development. Like it just looked like a slightly shinier, slightly dark, like edgy, grimdark version of Diablo 3 with less saturation. Because people complained about Diablo 3 being too bright and colorful. So you know what it seems like to me? It seems like they just whipped something together as soon as possible within that 1 year to get people off their fucking back. Like, look, the old Diablo's back, guys, but it didn't really hype people because Diablo 4 would have gotten so much hype, its announcement would have blown people's fucking socks off if Diablo Immortal didn't kill everybody's hype the year before. It's really fucking sad. And now Diablo 4, is it really going to ever get a fucking chance when its fucking hype was fucking killed off like Joe Biden starting his fucking campaign with a stumble? Like that? Do you really want to be the Joe Biden of video games? That's all I'm going to say. I think that's a good place to end it, actually. Fuck
Go to
Blizzard.
Joe 30330.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching.
That was Underhaven. Take it easy, guys.
Fuck
Good night.
yourself.